Someone's a little slow today.
I don't know. Was I super slow today, actually?
I don't know. You just seem. Usually, you're like kind of like maybe a half second to a second slower than me, but I felt like it was more of like a two Mississippi, almost like a full two Mississippi behind me today.
I'm just off. We had our game yesterday. I'm sore.
Well, how long has your beer been in the fridge?
A long time.
Like, did you take it out and let it cool off, like get a little warm, or was it like right out of the fridge?
No. I always drink them cold, so it hurts me every single time.
Mine's been out of the fridge for like 10 minutes, so mine's not as cool.
Yeah, I didn't take it out of the fridge, but oh god, dude, it kills me every single time. But welcome back to another episode of Two Drunk Guys in a Football Podcast. I am your host, Marcus, the Hammer Mary. Also call me Tyler Huntley apologist / Tyreek Hill hater. That is what I am.
Oh, jeez. And I am your other host, Skinny Domestic. I was about to say Skinny the Hammer Domestic for some reason. I was thinking of what you said, and I was like, why is the hammer popping up in my head? No, Skinny Domestic.
Skinny the Hammer Domestic here with another episode.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got a good episode. A lot of news, injuries, trades, all that fun stuff in the NFL. We had some upsets in the NCAA world. Big news for Iowa State fans. Woo-woo. We'll go over that. Bad betting on the rise, baby. The last 2 weeks we've been doing better. This week we're going to be doing our beer tasting every other week. So we'll have our beer review. I guess technically a review. We're reviewing it, not just tasting it. Then we're going to do fantasy. What were we calling it? Fantasy.
Risers and
fallers.
We're just literally gonna go. I'm gonna go on Sleeper and just say a name and say if you think the riser.
I wrote some down too, type thing. So
okay.
And then of course we'll do our NFL and college pick'ems to end that today. So Marcus, why don't you go ahead and get us started with the news?
The first thing is after Thursday's game, Jordan Mason was believed to have an AC joint sprain, which is, I believe, the same thing that happened to Hollywood Brown, who was out for the season. It can be a very big deal, not a very big deal. I believe the last thing I saw is he's day-to-day.
Yeah. Or
week-to-week or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. Let me go through my stuff. Brendan Schooler agrees to a 3-year $9 million deal worth up $10.5 million with incentives. That's the Patriots offensive line.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I don't know who that is. So he gets signed. Sorry, I got to go through all my stuff. Big news for Iowa State fans too. David Montgomery agrees to a 2-year, $18.25 million extension that ties him to the Lions through 2027.
I remember when Marcus said he hates this man.
No, I have a new hatred for NFL players. No. I love Iowa State running backs. Are you kidding me? They're the best. David Montgomery's annoying, man. He really is.
The dude?
Because he's a vanilla running back that is good enough. He deserves to be on a roster. He's a above average back, but it's like Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy she tells you not to worry about, and then David Montgomery's the hard-working man that gets stuff done, but you're just really taking the hot chick away from the Chad Jahmyr Gibbs, who is just, I don't know, electric, great at catching the ball, good at running, all around great athlete, and then you have David Montgomery, who just is a goal line finisher and just kills it.
Dude, it's a good extension. I like it for them. They get him,
Yeah.
instead of losing him to where he could go be the true number one somewhere else, in the next couple of years. He's like, I love this role. I'm okay with this role. I'm fine with not being the number one and split. And it's the perfect 1-2 punch for that team. I think when you look at it, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs could have more touches, more opportunities with him. But at the same time, it's like he's not getting the shit beat out of him like David Montgomery is in some of these.
No, and I think they like to lead. I think Gibbs actually is the 1A.
Yeah.
To him being the what's his face being Montgomery being the 1B. But I feel like in the beginning of the season, while things are still clicking, I think they really like to run the ball down people's throat with David Montgomery. I think it's something they like to do. It's good for their offense. And then like last year, I could see them start to click a little more, get into more competitive games, and use a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, this week is a perfect matchup for Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a competitive game. They're going to be pounding the ball, throwing the ball, all that stuff. It'll be an exciting game to watch. So we'll see how it goes. Jonathan Allen will miss the remainder of the season after tearing left pectoral muscle on Sunday. It's terrible. He's one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL.
It's going to be interesting to see how that defense kind of goes, because I feel like that line was having the big impact for them in terms of their defense overall. But you lose some of that defensive impact, and now your DBs can get exposed. You're not getting pressure on the quarterback, so it'll be interesting to see how much of an impact losing him is.
Mm-hmm. Texans Mario Edward Jr. suspended 4 games without pay for violating NFL substance abuse policies.
Just terrible.
Zay Jones was activated to the Cardinals roster. Not anything crazy there. Now we're going to get into some of the crazier stuff. Davante Adams was traded to the Jets for a 3rd-round pick that could potentially become a 2nd round based off performance. A lot of implications for a lot of things. Fantasy-wise, NFL-wise. First of all, the Jets are a win-now team. So it makes sense from an NFL perspective. You're putting what used to be one of the best wide receiver quarterback duos in the whole NFL back together, which I think will be a net positive for this team. Davante Adams is not what he once was 3 years ago, once they were getting 120 targets a year, but he still is a top 10 wide receiver in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, I wouldn't say he's still elite, but I mean, we don't know because he played with Gardner Minshew.
So we don't know if he's elite because he's been playing with bad quarterbacks. Huh? What?
I mean, he's had good numbers, Skinny, unlike Tyreek Hill, but he hasn't had that second boost of whatever. So we'll see. We'll see what he is, what he still has in the tank. I'm sure he has some.
With that,
he takes care of his body.
That, they reconstructed his contract to where his cap hit for the year is only $3.21 million for this year, which they needed. Mm-hmm. And
just
then they added 2 voidable years on his contract. So it sounds like it's most likely going to be voided, and then they can do something different, like
re-sign him or something. Yeah. Well, and then with this, like it is what it is with that team. We'll see what it means. I do think that it has a lot of fantasy implications.
Yeah, we'll get into that later, of course.
Okay, you want to talk about it later?
Yeah, that's like I feel like that can be like that fantasy.
That would be a big one, I suppose. Yeah. Jets. Same one. Browns traded for Amari Cooper. I don't know what it was for. Amari Cooper.
I think it was a 3rd-round pick too.
Yeah, it was cheap. I really don't know if this is going to have a lot of football implications. I don't know if this makes the Browns or the Bills better. The Browns are already trash with what they do. I think Amari Cooper might be. I feel like Amari Cooper was already on the decline of his career. Not that he's like a scrub, but I mean, Amari Cooper is like 32 years old?
30?
Really?
I think
he's still, I mean,
Let me fact check.
He's got to be. Yeah.
He is
He's
30.
going to his fourth team now.
Yeah, he's 30.
He's 30. Granted, Deshaun Watson was not good this year. They haven't looked good. He looked okay last year, but I looked at a lot of his numbers. It all came from one game, really. A good majority of his stats and stuff like that with that one game that he had like 50 points. You remember that?
Yeah, that got
Like
me.
that was like a third of his fantasy points all year.
Yeah.
And then that was like a third of his receiving yards and all that stuff.
Yeah, I
a
mean,
decent chunk of it.
Yeah, we can go into it more too later. It was one of those things in fantasy I didn't know if we were going to talk about, but I think it's the reason why the Bills have lost some games is because receivers couldn't get open, and Josh, like against the Jets, that one where it was a scramble drill, the only person he could get it to
And he
was
threw it to what's his face?
his wide receiver or his running back, like 40 yards downfield, which you probably shouldn't be doing anyway. That's very risky. But I think Cooper gives them just a more viable potential. Like it's 3rd and 4. We need this quick slant to hit. Like I'm gonna trust Amari Cooper doing that more than young Keon Coleman or Curtis Samuel or those type of things. Where I think
It's shitty because I think I would have been more excited fantasy purposes if Adams went to the Bills.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how much... I just think it's going to be more of a more reliability over, like, he's going to have 100 yards every game or, those type of things.
Yeah.
It's just going to be more of the, all right, we need this 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, we need this type of play done. I'll feel more confident getting him getting open and getting him the ball than those other guys that I already listed.
No, I agree. Giants start. What? Oh, okay. Andrew Thomas, the Giants left tackle, is ruled out for the remainder of the season. It says a Liz Frank injury.
Foot.
Yeah, that sucks. He was looking really good. I was watching him go against who was it? Who'd they play? Oh, what's his face? Trent. The pass rusher they got from the Steelers, the white guy. It's not Sam Hubbard, but the other one.
Oh, for the Bengals?
Yeah.
Starts with an H. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Just one of those big white pass rushers that they got, but he was playing really well.
Yeah, he did give up 2 sacks or something like that, but for the most part, he was holding his own. Trey Hendrickson.
Blake Cashman is out with the turf toe. We'll see if he comes back. Jonathan Brooks now is considered week to week.
Yep.
Also, Nick Chubb is expected to make his season debut this week, so that'll be interesting to see.
He's only projected like 6 or 7 fantasy points, so people don't get too caught up yet. Just, like it's not like he's.
I think this game depends though. Like if he comes in and they're gonna really, I think they took their time working him in. We'll see how much action he gets.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if he got 2 points. I wouldn't be shocked if he got 20 points.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think the big one, for the most part, is just getting him back into the football realm. Clearly, like give him 10 touches and just see what he does. I mean, and then see how he feels. Your team's ass just at this point that's the other one is if you're down early, you're down a lot. How much are you even going to fucking want to play him? How much are you even going to want to give him an opportunity to potentially risk another injury or whatever? So,
sure. And then the last one is Devon Achane is cleared from his concussion protocol. So that's all I got.
All right, I got Brady is now officially a part owner of the Raiders. He's
I forgot about that.
10%, I think it was 5 or 10%. So he is officially done with football now. Cannot come back and play football after doing that. Yeah, so with being a broadcaster, he's got a little bit more implications than some other people. Like, he can't go to practices for like broadcasters would go to like practices for the teams and stuff. He can't do that.
And watch them, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. But it's something. It's kind of weird that he's doing it with the Raiders, but it's probably just a rumor. But of course, there's now that Brady owns is Bill Belichick going to come coach the Raiders next season? Blah blah blah. All this, all that rumor. The funniest thing I did see out of that though was there's a meme. It was like Tom Brady's new haircut, and it's the Mark Davis haircut on him. It'll be interesting to see, I guess. Owner of the Raiders, I don't know.
That is weird. Well, it's a weird football world we live in.
Lions defensive line, Ali McNeil signs an extension, 4-year, $97 million, $55 million guaranteed. Now that Aiden Hutchinson is out with a broken tibia, which I'll just include with that, better earn that money. Better provide and make sure you show that you're with that. Aiden Hutchinson done for the year, broken tibia on his own player too. That's the crazy part of how hard that swing
happened to
was.
me too, dude.
How hard that swing was, and just watching his leg just snap.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It
still finished and got the sack.
Yep, he got the sack. That's all that matters. He was leading all the NFL with sacks. He was probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year, damn close to it. At least for the first 7 games. And
yeah, he was looking good.
It's just a damn shame.
Gus Edwards and Asante Samuel for the Chargers placed on IR, so you lose your top back, and Gus Edwards hasn't really done anything. But Asante Samuel Jr., that's a big one, I think, for them. Pat Surtain for Thursday Night Football. Pat Surtain and Chris Olave have both been ruled out. Rashid Shaheed's most likely going to be ruled out because he's looking at a meniscus surgery. They don't know if it's full or partial yet, so that can determine if he's going to come back on the season or not. Just another guy, Milton, is getting fucked in fantasy because he has Shaheed now because he traded Dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get CMC, but you lose Shaheed. No. That game is looking
Still
to be...
doesn't make it up.
I Thursday Night Football, I'm going to watch it, but I feel like we got Rattler looked good. Decent.
I'm not going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. I want to see how good... I want to see Rattler play. I just think after... He impressed me against the Bucks coming in. I did not think he was going to put up the numbers that he did or look as good as he even did at some points. But yeah, Derek Carr might be out. Like Alvin Kamara this week, guys, might have 60 points for the Saints offense. Don't know what's going to happen.
I don't think so. I think this is going to be I kind of have a feeling, Skinny, we could be looking at like a 13-10 game.
Jawan Jennings leads all receivers.
Yeah, Jawan Jennings leads all pass catchers. He has 3 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. And then I don't know.
My last 2 are Vikings trade for Cam Akers and a 7th round 2026 pick. They're giving up a 6th round 2026 pick.
It's got to be a record, dude. You trade for the same player twice.
Yeah,
in this year and last year. That's crazy.
I thought it was a weird trade. I felt like you guys, the Vikings, like Ty Chandler.
Dude, they love Cam Akers, bro. Everyone loves Cam Akers.
I mean, he did good with the Texans, which I get the Texans why they traded him. They did. Dameon Pierce is back and healthy. They like Dameon Pierce. You have the guy, the former Viking, the new guy from Iowa State too. I don't know how to say his last name.
You're making me forget his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. You could. I can't remember.
You could dish him out, but I was just kind of shocked to see the Vikings taken. They're like, we know Aaron Jones is going to get hurt at some point because it happens every year the last 3 years. So we're like, we're gonna get there. And then the last one I have is this is like the fastest I've seen the NCAA move for anything. I don't know if you watched the Oregon game, the Oregon-Ohio State game, or heard about the ending of it. But there was like 12 12 seconds left in the game, and Dane Lanning, for the Oregon coach, they were up by 1 point. He purposely had a 12 men on the field so that Ohio State ran a play and lost like 4 or 5 seconds, right? And then ultimately you only have time for one more play, which then the Ohio State quarterback ran out and was an idiot. But the NCAA, because of that, is looking to change defensive penalties under 2 minutes to basically make it so that way if something like that were to happen, like a 12-man on the field, I don't know if they'll go any further or what else they'll include, but if, like, let's say it's a penalty where you run a play like that, like a 12-man on the field, that the team, the offensive team, will have the option to add the time back. So it's like the time never actually came off, the play never actually happened. Which is funny because I've never seen the NCAA move that fast ever.
That's smart, though.
Yeah, no,
That's smart on Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, it was a loophole, it was, but the fact that you're looking at changing it already, the NCAA usually doesn't move fast, but yeah, they're looking at doing that. We'll see what happens with that and how fast they get that implemented. It's funny because they're like, oh, we got to protect Ohio State, whatever. This week for NFL news in terms of games, Vikings are on a bye week, so they currently still are undefeated, just along with the Chiefs, which is weird. The two teams that were undefeated had a bye week together. Eagles 2016 versus the Browns. Our defense played better. Our offense was still meh.
They need to fire him.
And Nick Sirianni is still doing things that are just cringe. Yeah,
He's literally destroyed this team.
Well, and I keep hearing that he gets involved in the play calling when literally in the offseason he said, I'm going to take a step back. Let Moore control it 100%. The stuff that with fans, like yelling at the fans and stuff, dude, come on. Stop doing that.
He handicaps a team, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a good look. I mean, I guess maybe he is a good look. He acts like he's from Philadelphia, that's for sure. As Tom Brady said, greasing light poles and doing all that stuff. But
yeah.
I don't know. He's not a good look. Did you see the video of him screaming at the fans?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dick. Like I think Nick Sirianni is, like I said before on the podcast, he has a very punchable face. Like
and now that he
doesn't
shaved his
conduct
head,
himself
he looks
well
ridiculous.
Yeah, he does.
The only upside I'd have to say is we got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith back. We didn't commit any turnovers on the offense, so that was a big one. First game all year, no turnovers, especially against a Browns defense that is actually good. And then our two rookie DBs only allowed 2 catches for maybe I think it was 30 yards in total. So makes me feel a little bit better. And then, well, again, that offense was bad, but still makes me feel good. And then the last one was just a kind of a shocker in terms of the score. The Lions 47, the Cowboys 9. Dak threw 2 interceptions.
Mike Zimmer's defense isn't working.
Michael Parsons and Lawrence out,
yeah,
but
out. Dak is ass. Dak is granted, they've fared very well after bye weeks. I've seen some statistics of the Cowboys, they do really well after the bye week, and so is Mike McCarthy. But for a team that paid a quarterback $60 million, you got your wide receiver who's, top 2 wide receiver in the league right now, maybe top 3. It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
It's really, really disappointing, and they don't look right. I know that in fantasy I played against Dak twice, and that's basically why I won, because Dak had 2 points.
Well,
or 4 points. You know what
the
I mean?
Lions were beating them so bad, they were fucking with them, hooking ladders with the linemen, lining up a lineman wide out, doing shit that is just disrespectful. But it's funny as fuck. I love it. The Cowboys might have a downfall here. You pay your quarter, because it's not like it's just one area where it's, my quarterback's playing bad or this. Your defense is injured. You have to figure out how you're going to pay Parsons if you even can, and if you do, you're going to have no money for anything else because you're paying Dak and CD. So I think this is going to be the downfall of the Cowboys this year, and we're going to see it over the next couple of years because Jerry Jones decided to pay Dak Prescott $60 million a year, and yeah, sure, he'll win you some games, but he's never going to get you to a Super Bowl.
No. Nope.
Then the college world.
I don't know.
Yeah, as an Eagles fan, I'll take it.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
College world, number 3 Oregon upsets number 2 OSU 32-31. OSU was favored by 3, but they were at Oregon's home. Yeah, it was a close game, 32-31. I didn't really get to watch much of it. I saw the ending of it just because I was at my class reunion, and yeah, Dan Lanning, it's a loophole. You knew the loophole. Smart play. You lose 4 to 5 seconds on the clock, and force them to basically have one play left, and they fuck it up. So, smart on him. Just a smart play. Smart play. Number 11 ISU defeats West Virginia 28-16. As an Iowa State fan, I'm happy about it. It's great to see us undefeated, but we are so bad in the first half. So slow.
Yeah, I thought they were going to lose. I watched that first half, and I thought Iowa State was going to lose. I was like, I was going to be right. It's a fucking trap game. But
if you're playing a team like Texas, they've always played Texas usually pretty physically, but if you're playing like an Oregon, a Texas, these other top teams, even Alabama, you can't be mediocre in the first half and then expect to come back and win in the second. You can't. So that's one thing. They got to put their foot on the gas from the very get-go. That's the only thing that worries me is moving forward is we still have to play like Utah, who Utah's looked bad, but it's just one of those things where they could beat us. Number 1 Texas defeats number 18 Oklahoma 34-3. I thought Oklahoma was bad. Did not expect Oklahoma to be that bad. Quinn Ewers is looking legit. Number 13 LSU defeats number 9 Ole Miss 29-26. Didn't watch any of that game, so can't really speak on it. But fuck Ole Miss. And then Arizona State upsets number 16 Utah 27-16. And like I said, Utah's been ass. Cam Rising, their like 7th-year quarterback, 8th-year quarterback. He's injured again already, so he might be able to medically redshirt and be back again next year. It's insane, but got upset. Get him out of there. Get him out of the top 75 at this rate. Bad betting. We went 4-0 last week. So if you bet any of those four,
perfect, dude.
Or did a parlay with them, you would be up $130 roughly, 120 I guess with the $10 bet. So the last 2 weeks brought us back. We're currently 12-12, so we're 500, where we need to be after a brutal beginning. And then it's just up from here. So this week we've got the Bengals -6.5 versus the Browns. We have the Texans +2.5 versus the Packers. We have the Jags -5.5 versus the Pats. And then we have the Bills -8.5 versus the Titans. If you want to parlay those together, it would pay, at a $10 bet, it would pay about $128. Again, could change by the time you place it. But yeah, let's hope for another 3-1, 4-0. 4-0 clearly, but 3-1 I'll take. 2-2,
Let's kill it.
And then I have a random topic just because I don't know if you probably did one because you never do one, but my random topic quick is it's fall time. What's your top three fall foods?
Chili. Chili's a staple.
Yeah.
Fall foods. Well, obviously like turkey. Thanksgiving food. That's fall food. Trying to think of what else is good fall food. Anything soups, man. Like, I feel like once you get into fall, it starts getting colder. You need some like soups, potato soup, chicken vegetable chicken
just
soup.
start Forrest Gump labeling off soups.
Yeah, all the soups. You got jambalaya soup. Would you consider that kind of? I guess you put it over rice, kind of. You got
You got
any
chicken
kind of
noodle
soup. You got
soup.
tomato soup.
You got chicken soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Got
Vegetable soup.
cheese
Beef,
and broccoli
beef stew.
soup. Beef stew. Beef and noodles. Chicken and gobs.
Beef.
You got
Yep. Oh, chicken and gnocchi, dude.
ooh yeah, chicken gnocchi.
Chicken gnocchi's
you
good.
got chicken pot pie.
Clam chowder.
Hell,
Makes cheeseburger soup. That's good.
yeah, cheeseburger soup, lasagna soup, tomato soup. I mean, geez.
Tortilla soup, dude.
Tortilla soup. What is it? The chicken.
Cheddar broccoli, dude.
Yeah, I already said that. Cheddar broccoli. The it's like Hispanic or not Hispanic, but it's like a chicken.
Oh. You really aren't that brown, are you?
Nah, dude.
What's that shit
Because
called?
it's soup. Nobody.
Pasul?
Oh yeah,
Pasul?
yeah, pasule. And there's what's the other one? It starts with an M.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Look it up. Check it, Skinny. Check it. Tell us what it is.
Pasole. And there's a lot more types of soups. Menudo, pozole, chicken tinga. That's not a soup. Chicken tortilla soup.
Chicken tortillas.
Caldo
Yeah, dude,
de siete mores.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Dude, my top 3 are beef and noodles, chili, and pumpkin bars. Chili's like one of my top foods in general.
Chili is a staple. Okay? Chili has a place in my heart. You gotta have the beans, then you gotta have freaking oyster crackers, and top that with some cheese, some sour cream if you're freaky with it. And
depending on where you're at, you get the fucking cinnamon roll if you're really feeling it,
Yeah. The cinnamon roll if you're feeling dangerous.
Because then the next day,
you can't go wrong with chili.
Then the next day, you break out some fucking dogs and French fries, and you have some chili dogs and chili fries, man.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Chili dogs, chili fries. That's solid. Chili fries, very good combo.
I once tried chili on pizza rolls.
You did?
Yeah.
I bet you liked it too, didn't you?
Oh yeah, dude. It was one of those things where I was like, you're in high school, you're playing all these sports, you gotta fucking eat all these calories. So I'm like, pizza rolls, chili, cheese, all that. Tasted fine. So
I'm sure it did.
A lot of fucking calories. But yeah, dude, pumpkin bars too. Oh man, there's just something about pumpkin. We had like a work potluck earlier this month, and some lady brought in pumpkin bars, and man, they were fucking fire. Some of the
Skinny loved the pumpkin bars. He's a big pumpkin bar guy.
Some of the best pumpkin bars I ever had. They were so good. But all right, moving on to the beer review using the good old passive system that we created of the price, appearance, taste, aroma, and the vibe. Even though the taste and aroma technically are...
Oh shoot! I almost dropped my thing. Sorry, I gotta open up this box. It's a pain in the ass.
A box? Oh, you got a 12-pack?
That's all I had at the gas station, dude.
Oh, I bought a 6-pack. Marcus, the Hammer Mary, what beer are we reviewing today?
Stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis.
We are currently the most interesting men in the world.
We are very interesting men.
So price, I paid $10.99 at Walmart. So it is a 2 for me.
I paid $20 at the gas station for 12 of them. So it is a 2 for me.
Yeah, we're because I'm pretty sure Blue Moon's the same price, and I feel like a Blue Moon is way better than like I'm judging them hard because the Blue Moons are most like our highest rated alcohol or beer at this point, lager, ale, whatever the.
I don't really look at Dos Equis as a Mexican beer that much.
No, so for me, the first time I had it, I was down in fucking Phoenix, meeting Courtney's family for the first time. We went out to a bar for Courtney's sister's 21st, and all they fucking had was Dos Equis and like some other nasty, like some other shit I'd never even heard of, but it was literally just Dos Equis. Every white dude that I saw there was drinking Dos Equis. And
yeah, I was about to say this is not a Mexican beer. Like this isn't something that you'd see at the quinceañeras or anything like that.
No. This shit they don't have there. But the appearance of the bottle, I do love the red X's. The red X's always, they always get me. I'm gonna go 3.5 because it's still pretty simple. But
makes you feel like you're doing something bad. Dude.
Yeah, the red X's draw my attention, and the green bottle looks good with the coloring. But
the cap looks really nice.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I'd give it a 3.5 as well.
All right, and then the aroma.
Let me get this cap off.
Dude, I haven't had one of these in like 7 years, so I don't even remember what these taste like or anything.
You've been with Courtney for 7 years. See if I got my bottle.
2017.
Really? It's just crazy to think it's been that long.
Been married for 4.
You ready for the aroma?
Yeah.
Smells like ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. It does not smell good.
That's gotta be a 1.
Yeah. Like it doesn't even smell like it doesn't smell like a Mexican beer at all. It's like at least like Corona and like Modelo smell decently nice compared to this.
Oh, they smell like pot is what they smell
yeah,
like.
but it smells better than whatever this is.
This smells like a wine.
Just let's just snort it.
Mm.
Do what your brother did. Let's shove it up our assholes.
Yeah, I guess so. Shout out to Tyler. He's in jail.
But all right, taste.
Cheers, my friend. Stay thirsty, my friend.
It's like a 2. Not a fan. If there's
it's not the worst beer. I will give it a 2.5. It's average.
I'm gonna think I think I'm giving it like want to give it a 1.5, but I'll be nice and give it a 2. Like I'm just not a fan of it like at all. The aftertaste is not good. Like I'm almost bound to go down to a 1. The more I drink it, the less I like it.
If you go to a 1, I'll go to a 3, and we'll give it a 2.
I'm so glad that I only bought a 6-pack of this. That's all I'm saying. Like,
dude, just bring it to the Halloween party and get rid of it, dude. That's what I'm gonna do with all this beer. I'll show you. I have a stack of beer, man.
Do I have to bring my own beer?
Oh yeah, I'm not doing a.
What beer do you have there that I could drink? That I don't have to.
I mean, you can. I still have a bunch of those yearlings, Pacifico.
Oh fuck! I'll drink your Pacifico.
I'll buy some Busch Light. I still have. I think it's what your wife bought me for my birthday. I still have a Bud Light, big tall boy, and then a Coors Light tall boy, like the thick ones. The 32 ounces, I think, is what they are.
Nice.
They still got some Blue Moons. I don't know. I got quite a bit of stuff.
I'll drink your Pacificos. Don't you worry. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get this added up here. Let me get this grade level. All right. It is a 2.25 out of 5.
Is that our lowest beer?
It is our lowest beer. Pacifico, Youngling, and Hulk Hogan are all like 2.5, 2.56. Sam Adams was 2.3, and this is a 2.25.
We got to go back. This is not as bad as Sam Adams. Sam Adams was terrible, Skinny. I will not.
Yeah, but it's not all about the taste.
Yeah.
It's about the price and the other things like that go into it too. It's not just the taste. The vibe to this, to me, is if you're showing up, if you're a first timer, one, I guess if you're fucking go to college and are college age down in fucking Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, you drink this shit. But the vibe to me is you're a white boy that's never been invited to a fucking quince before, and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy some brown beer, and you're going to buy this shit because you haven't had the good shit yet. So that's my vibe, is first time Hispanic cerveza buyer.
No, see, you know what this is? This, to me, Skinny, this is middle class. This, I look at this the same way I look at Michelob Ultra. It's super light. It's not heavy. It's a flex of a beer. People look at it, they see the commercials and like, oh, stay thirsty, my friend. And it's like,
It's a flex, yeah. Maybe that's why all the white college kids.
It's a flex of the beer, dude.
Dude,
I mean, it's not that good. It's light. It's not. I don't think it's that offensive of a beer to me, but
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
You just aren't thirsty, my friend.
I can't stay thirsty for this. I'm sorry, Dos Equis. Oh, fuck. I still gotta drink another 5.5 of these.
Skinny hates them.
Alright, moving on. We're gonna do the fantasy risers and
fallers.
Guess I'll just kind of...
Let me get into Sleeper. You know what? Sleeper has been such a nice app to use for fantasy.
I like it for Dynasty.
I like it. No, I would do it for a redraft. I actually don't mind it at all. We can't do it with our league because it's been in there for so long. Like,
I can barely fucking understand it half the time.
You can't understand Sleeper?
Because, well, like, I do the bare minimum. I haven't utilized it like you have. I do the bare fucking minimum. Because I'm just
I go into it. It's good with statistics because you can click into stuff and see snap counts and all that stuff.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far.
Let's look at some interesting players. Start out strong. Garrett Wilson.
He's currently number 8, so he's gonna fall.
He's number 8. He has had quite a few targets his last couple weeks.
It's gonna fall. He's gonna fall. He'll be maybe top 25 still, but will not be in the top 10. He's gonna fall.
No. So with that, where does that put Devontae Adams? Devontae Adams, the 1A?
Yeah, Devontae Adams clearly is the 1A. He's clearly probably number what? Why he's missed 3 games now. He's gonna rise clearly because he's gonna start fucking producing. I was explaining to Austin, Devontae's gonna get 10 to 12 targets a game. That's gonna be about his average, I'd say. Garrett Wilson, I'm banking on them trading Mike Wilson because that's the plan. But if they trade Mike Wilson,
Mike
Williams. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't that big on Mike Williams anyway with him. Garrett Wilson's going to see an average of 7 to 9. There's going to be a slight drop off. 7 to 9.
I actually don't think that they're going to use Williams. Williams has done bad. Rodgers doesn't have the chemistry with him.
Well,
It's Allen Lazard. That's always going to be the issue.
and they're gonna trade. They want to trade Williams, so I'm not really worried. But I'm gonna say Adams getting 10 to 12 on average, and Garrett Wilson's gonna get 7 to 9. That's what, almost on the high side. That's 21 of Rodgers' 30 to 35 right there. So just about over half of his targets are gonna go to those two.
And then Breece Hall will get probably 5 a game, 4 to 5 a game.
Tyler Conklin will see like 3. Lazard's going to see 3 to 5. So that's where primarily all those targets are going to go. Braylon Allen maybe 1 or 2. I knew they tried to throw it to him last game. The 7 to 9 still a good amount of targets in a game. But yeah, it's clearly he's going to be, and each game's going to be different. That's why I say average, because there's going to be games where teams worry about Devontae more, or they worry about Garrett. Well, I don't know if you worry about Garrett Wilson more, but you try to stack the box with Breece Hall more. You can see
Adams is a riser.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson's a
faller. Breece Hall is also going to be a riser. I don't know where the fuck he's at right now in fantasy, but I think Breece Hall benefits the most out of both of the.
He is currently RB6 per our standard sleeper right now.
Yeah.
What about Bijan Robinson?
I think he's a riser.
He's right now. He's RB7 right now on the year.
Ooh.
You think that he'll get higher than RB7?
Yeah.
His game logs. So this is what he did actually. The Carolina game's kind of hard though, but snap share, he had 89% of the snaps week 1, 75, 82, 64, 67, and 56. Now 56, I will say they were destroying the Carolina Panthers at one point, so I think that a lot of that was just game plan.
Can I put neither? I think he'll be right about.
Yeah, you can say he.
I'll say he finishes between 5 and 8 on the season. I think he'll stay about where he is now. I don't see
Tyler Algier fucks him a lot.
Yeah, I don't see him doing anything crazy more than what he kind of has, because they've gotten in a groove with him a little bit in terms of his plays and utilization. Again, Algier takes away some touches, but I think the 5 to 8, 4 to 8 is probably where he's going to be at, and he's currently, you said, at 6. So yeah, I don't see much of a change for him unless like Algier gets hurt or something, or he even gets hurt. But
okay, I got another name. We might as well. I mean, we might as well just knock through players.
I'm good.
Baker Mayfield, currently quarterback 2. He's obviously done pretty well. He's had, let's see, points wise, he's had 28.9, 18.8, 8.5, 28, 23, 25. His next stretch of games is Baltimore, Atlanta, Kansas City, San Francisco bye, and then it kind of evens out towards the playoffs.
He's going to drop.
Got Carolina twice.
He's going to drop. I only say that because guys like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, I think Lamar's the number 1 quarterback right now, probably. Like, the dual threats always come out. Usually,
see, here's the thing, though. He's been running a lot, and he's been running a decent amount. He has 2 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's had a game with 5 rushes for 34 yards, 4 rushes for 10 yards.
What's Josh Allen? What's Josh Allen currently at? Josh Allen's like 8?
Quarterback 5.
Or 5. And Josh Allen has not played well to our standards. So
no, he's had 3 games under 20 points. And then his other 2 games are 24, 30.9, and then 31.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, rushing wise, has. Oh, that's neat. He has 9 rushes for 39 yards, 2 rushes for 2 yards, 6 rushes for 44 yards, 5 rushes for 21 yards, 4 rushes for 54 yards, and 9 rushes for 19 yards.
Yeah, I think that'll get better.
I think Josh will rise. I don't know.
I think Baker will fall. Baker's not going to finish the season. 5. Baker will not finish the season number 1 and 2.
Baker won't be 2. Lamar right now is number one. I don't know about that. I mean, he's a running back. I could see Jaden Daniels finishing in there. The one that's interesting to me is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's what?
He's currently quarterback 4.
4.
His game logs are 8 points, 17 points, 25 points, 16 points, 33 points, and 19 points.
And that 19 points is which week?
The last week.
Against the Giants?
He only threw for 208 yards. He had 55 rushing yards.
Yeah,
and
which
rushing touchdown.
50 of that was on a touchdown run. That's crazy.
Before that, he hasn't broken over 15 yards rushing.
Yeah, he might fall down too, unless he picks up the passing game. Because, I mean, clearly that rushing touchdown for 50 yards is
what got him there.
Yeah, kind of
But,
an
I mean,
outlier.
before that, he's thrown for 164 yards, 250 yards, 324, 232, 392, and then 208 is the week that he...
I think the other one, too, with that is now that they're getting kind of more established with who that running back is for them. Because coming in the season, you didn't know who was going to be your guy, I guess. I think Chase Brown kind of started to pull away with that a little bit. So as you pull that away, I think you don't have to rely on Joe Burrow as much as you did weeks 1 to 4, which...
Yeah. Yeah, Chase Brown's a riser in my book.
I have a name for you, Jordan Addison.
Guy. You got what?
Jordan Addison. I don't know what his numbers are.
What is he right now?
I'm not looking. Probably.
I will look right now.
Probably 40s, my guess. He missed some time. So his kind of sucks because he's been injured, but...
Jordan Addison, he's down there.
Yeah, look at his game logs. He's gone like 8, 11.
So Jordan Addison's 76 right now.
7. Oh, shit, he's even farther than I thought.
Yeah, he's way down there. Week 1, he had 6.5. And then he missed 2 games, 22, 9, and then 6.6.
So he's clearly going to come up because
he hasn't had that many targets. So he's only had 16 targets, and he's caught 9 of 16 targets. He has had a touchdown, 2 touchdowns actually, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. I think Jordan Addison is going to rise. I think he's going to rise quite a bit. The thing is there's enough volume for Justin Jefferson. He's going to get his. That's their investment. Sam Darnold is good enough to win with. Sam Darnold is not great. I don't know if Sam Darnold in this offense is pass heavy enough to get him his touches, let alone TJ Hawkinson, who they did pay money to a couple years ago, who I think is going to get a lot of passing.
Yep.
I do think that he's a riser, but I don't think he's going to be in the 70s. I could see him being a top 40 player. He'll be a flex player to start. I just don't see him being top 25. It'd take a lot for him to get up there, but I could see him being a top 40 player, a flex player.
I guess riser was more of, with me with that one, was more of, clearly he missed the 2 games, so that's impactful. But
yeah, it is impactful.
With TJ Hawkinson coming
look
back,
at him differently.
How much does he get impacted with that?
Deontay Johnson, wide receiver 20.
Oh.
So his game logs with Bryce Young, he went 3.9, 4.5. Then once what's his face came in, Andy Dalton, he had 26.2, 21.3, 5.9, and 19.8. His next match, are Washington, Denver, New Orleans, the Giants, a bye, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and then he ends the season with Arizona, Tampa Bay, and Atlanta.
What is he at overall?
20.
This one's a fucking tough one. If Andy Dalton stays the starter all year, keep him top 20. 100% keep him top 20. But if at any point in time Bryce Young comes back in, he's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say stay the same just to be on the safe side. Like he'll finish around the 15 to 25, give or take. Because if Bryce Young comes back, he's fucked. He is fucked.
All right. Isaiah Likely, tight end 6. His game logs are 28, 4.6, 1.4, 3.6, 16.3, and 4.7.
Tight end number what? 6, 7?
6.
He's gonna fall.
Think so? Here's my question. Who's gonna overtake him?
Well, I'm not saying overtake. I'm not saying overtake, but Rashad Bateman has been doing a little bit more the last couple of weeks. Mark Andrews is starting to do a little bit more. That like it's not in terms of who's overtaking him as tight end 1, but for the Ravens, I think these other players that haven't been consistent and good the first maybe 3 weeks have finally kind of like Mark Andrews has become Mr. Reliable for Lamar the last couple weeks that I've watched. Rashad Bateman is starting to break out in terms of putting up some decent numbers for wide receiver. And then, of course, they're a run-heavy team. They're going to run the fuck out of the ball with Derrick Henry. I just don't see Isaiah Likely doing the putting up those numbers like he has been. Those 8 to 10, I feel it. But as some of these tight ends start breaking out a little bit, like Travis Kelce started off slow. I mean, George Kittle missed games, and he's already tight end number 1. Brock Bowers is 2 with now that Adams is gone.
Yeah, Travis Kelce's tight end 13 on the year.
Yeah, Travis Kelce's going to rise with everything.
Kittle's number 1.
Yeah, he's had better games. Bowers is number 2. I think Likely will probably drop. Maybe not outside the top 10, but I think other players on that Ravens team have stepped up to where Isaiah Likely is not going to be putting up the 10 plus every week to keep him in that top 6 to 5.
I can agree with that. Let's look at someone else.
Here, do Demario Douglas.
Pop Douglas?
Yeah, that's a good one.
So Demario Douglas is currently wide receiver 44. He had 3.20, 14.8, 4.3, 11.9, and 21.2. This is an interesting one. He looked good last week with what's his face?
May.
Quarterback. Yeah, Drake May. He looked pretty good with Drake May. He had 9 targets for 6 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
Look at the volume he's had though. 9 this week, 9 last week, 9
3 and then 9. Yeah, he's got a lot.
He's clearly the wide receiver 1 for the Pats, and I think Drake May is going to be a better passer than Jacoby Brissett. I think
he's kind of thick too. He's 5'8", but he's 192 pounds. He's kind of like, I would almost look at that kind of like how Tyreek Hill is very small, but he's kind of like 210. You know what I mean? He's just
I'm putting him higher. I think he'll finish higher, especially if Drake May is going to be the guy now.
I actually picked up Drake May in the dynasty or in your league.
Yeah.
Because Justin Fields is allegedly getting benched, which I think is horseshit.
Yeah, but that is fucking that fantasy implications there. That's fucking bullshit. Name a time that a quarterback is 4-2 and gets fucking benched.
No, I've never seen it. Here's the thing: Russell Wilson, at this point, is an okay starting NFL quarterback. Justin Fields has all the potential. He's 25 years old. You give him a contract this year, you could have Justin Fields for 5 to 10 years. He could turn into something.
Steelers,
but then you're going to bench him for Russell Wilson. Why? That's a bad move. That's a terrible. I don't care what anyone says. That's a terrible run organization.
You're playing.
That's awful.
You're playing Justin Fields. Next year, you're going to need a quarterback. You need to figure out what you're going to do at quarterback. I don't give a shit if your plan is to draft a quarterback. Sure, draft a quarterback. But if Justin Fields is currently 4-2, and it's not been pretty, it's not been all that. The more he plays, hopefully it does get better. I mean, it happened with the Bears. It got better. He had an 1,000-yard receiver. It's not like he can't throw the ball. You let him see how this year goes and give him a contract, like you said, for the next 5 to 10 years. Or you do it for a couple of years, like Baker. You give him a 2 to 3 year contract. You draft a guy that you like or something. I just don't think, like I think we talked about it. What was it? Maybe 2 weeks ago on the pod when they were 3-1 or something. I did not expect to see Russell Wilson come in unless they were 3-3 or 3-4. Like if they blew those last 3 games, maybe. But when you're 4-2,
they still might not do it. I mean, he's projected to start. No one said that he's going to start yet. I just don't. If I'm Mike Tomlin, why do I do that to my team? It's a bad look on Mike Tomlin.
And it's not like,
honestly,
and it's not like
that everyone.
Sorry, go ahead.
Everyone always talks so highly of Mike Tomlin. I mean, they haven't won a playoff game for like a freaking decade, man. It's been a long time. Have they made it to the playoffs? Yes. I don't think Mike Tomlin's that good of a coach. They always skin by the skin of, they always get into the playoffs by the skin of their teeth, going 9-6 or 9-8 or whatever it is now, or 10-7. They always skin in there and they always lose first round. Like this Steelers team, like, okay, yes, they're good enough. He's a winning coach. He has all these statistics. His winning percentage is good, whatever. They don't do anything. And like, you have a quarterback like Justin Fields has potential. Justin Fields has had success in the NFL, and he's having success. Is it pretty? No, but Lamar Jackson isn't pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's an offense that's built around him. This offense isn't built around Justin Fields. Justin Fields is coming in and doing his best, and maybe it's not what they want, but I couldn't imagine benching her. That's a bad look in the locker room. It's a very bad look in the locker room.
Yeah, no,
You're going to take something away from a player that's done decent.
Yeah, I just think from a future standpoint, it's just you're 4-2. You know next year you need a starting quarterback, and the guy that potentially could fill that role, you're doing that with.
Kyler Murray, quarterback 8, and I think quarterback 8's pretty generous for him right now with how he's been playing. 14 points, 28 points, 14 points, 9 points, 24 points, 11 points. I think Kyler Murray is a faller. I think this year he has potential to be a 15-12, a borderline QB1, high-end QB2.
Yeah, I want to say faller / Yeah. I'm going to go with faller too. I was going to say faller / stay the same, but it hasn't been pretty. Like, I think Jalen Hurts is number 16 right now or something like that. Like
Jalen Hurts has been bad. And Jalen Hurts should get better, I imagine. Yeah,
turnovers. He's had 7 turnovers, not including fumbles. I don't know what his fumbles would be. No, he's had 7 total. So you take away those, limit those to 1 every now and then, if better yet, 0 for the rest of the year. But that's 14 fantasy points you're out of right there. So,
and that adds up.
I think it'll Kyler get better. For Jalen Hurts, I think it is. Yeah, Kyler Murray, I think he'll drop. It's just not been.
He's got a rough road. He's got the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bears, and the Jets. That's not teams you want to throw against either.
Yeah, and he hasn't been. I don't think he's really been running the ball that well. He hasn't.
Nope, he has not.
Yeah, and I think he kind of relies on Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride a little too much. Like, he doesn't trust. I think they get Zay Flowers back now, so that could change things a little bit. Because I think Zay Flowers is a very good wide receiver, and adds that depth value to him at wide receiver. But I don't think he'll be top 10 this year. The way things have kind of been looking for him and how he's played.
And I got my last one. This is an interesting one. Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, he'll fall.
Running back 5.
He'll fall 100%.
His game logs. Do you think that he's done enough that there's a question about him and Jonathan Brooks?
I think with Jonathan Brooks,
he's still young. Their bye is, they got a bye in 4 weeks. I think he's going to be. They're talking about he's week to week. I think we'll see Jonathan Brooks by week 9.
Yeah, and I think after the bye week,
I think we see him before the bye.
Yeah, and I think
for sure 100% after the bye week.
Yeah, and even then, I think Jonathan Brooks is going to be able to come in and.
Yeah, I mean, he's been money, man. He's done really good. Not even just for fantasy. 1.4, 11.6, 27.9, 22.1.
The other one
17.5 and 15.3.
The other one,
and he's rushing over 1,000 or 100 yards. I mean, he has 4 games over 90 yards.
The other one to that though is Andy Dalton has to remain the quarterback. I
think he will.
Yeah,
I think he will. I think the Panthers are done with.
Yeah, you have to.
Young.
If Andy Dalton gets hurt and Bryce Young comes in or whatever, I don't know. I just think that if Bryce Young plays, that offense in every way, shape, or form loses fantasy value, and you don't want to fucking touch it. So,
Brian Callahan's trying to build something, and I think that part of the culture is Bryce Young. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't even looked like after year 2. Year 1 doesn't matter for an NFL quarterback. It's year 2 that really if you don't have success in year 2, you're probably not going to be good.
Well,
he's looked awful.
And things that you can look at doing are, okay, you want to build a culture. I don't know how much this would impact things, but if it would even happen. But it's a new regime in terms of what's there. Sam Darnold's looked good. If next year you need a quarterback, Sam Darnold will be available. He's still young enough. You clearly can always go draft a quarterback, but how does that look after 2 years of having the number 1 pick and fucking up? If you're looking for short-term solutions, at least in the meantime, but still fairly young, Sam Darnold's available. Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco, but they're so old. There's not much suitable there. What's Najee Harris ranked at right now? This will be our last one. Then we'll move on to our pick'ems.
Najee Harris. Sorry, I got lost in the sauce.
No, you're good.
Najee Harris is right now probably not that good, Skinny, to be honest.
30s?
23.
Could be worse.
I've had him. He's had 8.9, 8.4, 13, 10, 9, and 20.2.
Well, what's crazy about that, too, is Jalen Warren missed a game or so, and he's still...
0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Except for last week was his first touchdown. 0 touchdowns on the ground. A lot of it has been... Fields has been feasting. Fields has taken a lot... Fields has 10 touchdowns total, 1 interception. He was not playing terrible.
I think it changes if Russ does play, but...
He'll be used in the red zone more. Russ is probably better for this, for the pass catchers. He's better for fantasy purposes, for Pickens and people like that. But for the team winning and stuff like that, I don't think he is.
I don't think there's not much of a difference. I'd say. I think I think Najee, if Russ comes in, he'll climb up. But if they leave, as long as Justin Fields is the quarterback, Najee's a bottom RB2 running back in fantasy for you.
And Najee just never So I was big on Najee his rookie year. He had 300 touches, but ever since then, his touches have gone down. He had 307 rushes his rookie year for 1,200 yards. The next year he had 272. Then the next year, 255. And his receiving, he had 94 targets his rookie year.
Yeah.
70 catches. Next year, 53, 40 catches, 41 catches.
I wonder if that has
the last
a play
2 years.
in. You look at guys like Zeke, where from the get-go they were, you could be top 5 in the league all you want, top 3 or whatever. I know he was the rushing title a couple times, but Zeke's beat the fuck up.
He is. Oh yeah.
This is I think the way of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs from the get-go. They could have given Jahmyr Gibbs 300 touches in a year, but why do that when you can preserve some of his body and life potentially, where he's going to get you another 2 to 3 extra years of decent production compared to, all right, we'll get 4 to 5 out of him now, and then he'll shit the bed after that. So I think the way the NFL has kind of been going, it seems like that's slowly been coming into play more. You see what was it, years ago when we had Mark Ingram and Kamara, it was wow, this is unheard of, it hardly ever happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like now Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard have looked good together. You got David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. You got Jalen Warren and fucking Najee, Bijan Robinson, and Tyler Algier. I think the more you can do that and be successful with it, it's just better for a team in the long run, because
it's not fun for fantasy.
Yeah, I know it's not fun for fantasy, but at the same time,
sucks.
It's long term. You get your value out of those players for
the longevity of them.
Yeah, and then the other one too is, all right, you could be a top 15 running back, but because you weren't a top 5 running back, I don't have to pay you as much money as the Derrick Henrys who have had 300 plus touches the last 6 years, or let's say 3 years, while you have had 100 some plus touches, and I can save a couple $1 million by paying you to basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
300 touches is insane.
Yeah,
how
many times has Derrick Henry done that? Let's look. I'm looking.
Probably
right
more
now.
Than you think.
1, 2, 3. He's done it 3 times in his career. He almost. Well, that's just rushing. Add his receiving in there, it puts him at almost 400.
Really? So let's look at CMC.
378 rushing attempts and 19 catches.
See, CMC's touches, he's never had 300 touches.
Yeah.
But with his receiving, though, he's over 300. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
He catches a lot.
Think about it. Derrick Henry in 2020 had 397 touches.
You know what's insane? 2019, when Scarp won the championship with Christian McCaffrey, he had 471 fantasy points. His next best was last year, and he had 391.
Yeah.
Well, he had 80 more fantasy points.
CMC missed a game or 2 last year, too, didn't he?
He played, I don't know if that'll tell me that on there. But regardless. Oh, yeah, he played 16. In that year, he played 16. So it's the same amount of time.
Yeah. Okay.
Same amount of games that he played that year. Kind of wild, though.
Yeah. All right, moving on. It was a good fantasy. Yeah, if you have any of the Jets, Devontae Adams for sure. If you have him, get him going. If you have Garrett Wilson, it's more of like a
Temper expectations. You
Yeah.
can't trade him.
Yeah,
The
he'll
best
get
day,
you.
the
He'll
best
get you
day,
10
time
points.
to
I
trade
feel
him was
like
2 days ago.
Yeah, I feel like he'll get you 10 points for the most part, but there might be games where Devontae Adams is it. But moving on, we'll do our NCAA pick'ems for the week. There's 5 this week. Last week there was 5. I went 4-1. I missed the Iowa game. You went 3-2. You missed the
Iowa State and Iowa game probably.
No, it was the Iowa game because you chose Washington, and I think you chose Ole Miss over LSU. Is what got you.
Did I take Iowa State? I thought I didn't take.
No, you did. You took Iowa State. But this week we have number 11 Tennessee versus number 7 Bama. Bama is favored by 3.
Yeah. Bama, I guess.
You're gonna take Bama. This one's a tough one because Bama's look like shit, but I'm gonna take Bama because I hope that Bama has a bounce back game. They have not looked good. Number 24 Michigan versus number 22 Illinois.
Give me Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's gonna keep hanging around. Bottom barrel stuff. Number 1 Texas versus number 5 Georgia.
Give me Georgia, dude. Fuck Texas.
Texas is favored by 5. I'm gonna take Texas because I'm a Texas fan this year. Then we have Iowa versus Michigan State. Iowa is favored by 5.5.
Give me Iowa.
And then number 9 Iowa State, top 10, which is crazy. Iowa State's the only school in the nation that has top 10 college football, top 10 college women's and men's basketball.
It's because they're the best. Dude.
And I think there was some other sport that they had top 10 too. But yeah, Iowa State versus UCF. Iowa State's favored by 14. I'm going to take
Iowa State.
Finish 7-0. All right, and then the NFL pick'ems. Good week for both of us. I went 12-2 because I thought the London Jaguars being at home they'd win it, but Caleb Williams decided to go off, and then you went 13-1 because you said fuck it, let's take the Jets.
I changed to the Jets last minute. I literally had a perfect bracket.
So right now I'm 55-37 overall. You're 64-28. So we're doing good this year on the pick'ems at least for how shitty you went kind of towards the beginning. Marcus, let's go down this list.
Thursday night football, October 17th. The Denver Broncos take on the New Orleans Saints, and give me the Broncos.
Yeah,
I do not like what's going on with the Saints. A lot of key players are not going to be in there. I don't trust in Spencer Rattler, and honestly, Bo Nix looks good.
Yeah, Bo Nix hasn't
for what he has around him. He's looked good.
He hasn't been bad. He's gotten better. The Denver will be without Pat Surtain, but it's not that big of an issue when Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed will not be available. So yeah, I'm gonna take Denver also coming out with this one.
New England Patriots play the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Give me the Jags. This is going to be their London win.
I am also taking the Jags. Drake may look good. Jags need to start winning unless Dougie P wants to lose his job.
Mm-hmm. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's hot right now. Give me Atlanta.
Yeah, like you said earlier.
Go ahead.
This could be a game that the Seahawks or the Seahawks win just because Atlanta sells it. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna take Atlanta.
Yeah, they're hot right now. The Buffalo Bills or the Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills. Give me Buffalo.
I too am taking Buffalo. I need a Josh Allen 50 piece. Just fucking go off, King. Especially because Amari Cooper's supposed to play too, so we'll see how that goes. Interested.
Mm-hmm. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. Give me Cincy.
Yeah, Cincy's offense is hot.
Yeah, they have to. They have to win. If they want any chance of making it to the playoffs. They are a good team. I don't care what anyone says. Cincinnati is a good team. They have the pieces to win now, especially on that offense. Joe Burrow is playing like a top 5 quarterback, and his wrist isn't all the way there. But he's slinging that fucking thing, man. Yeah. He is slinging it.
Nick Chubb comes back for Cleveland.
That pass,
gonna be on a snap count.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's a mess in Cleveland, and until they change quarterback, it's not gonna look any prettier.
The Houston Texans versus the Green Bay Packers. Give me Houston.
I am also taking Houston. Joe Mixon's a stud.
The Miami Dolphins versus the Indianapolis Colts. Give me the Colts.
Colts, as long as Joe Flacco is playing. That's these are stipulations.
No, AR-15 is gonna play. I think it's time for AR-15 to come out and show what he is. They need to just release him, let him go. This is the hardest game of the week to pick right here. But the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings. I did take the Vikings, but we always split with Detroit, or Detroit runs us. They're a hard team to play, but Minnesota's defense is good and their offense is good. This comes down to Sam Darnold. If we're going to win the game, it's going to be behind Sam Darnold making good plays.
Yeah, I took Detroit.
See this being a high-scoring game.
I took Detroit. You guys had a bye. If you guys didn't have a bye and were 6-0 coming off a win, I'd be like, all right, it's the momentum's still there, but that bye week kind of fucks with things, I would say. Detroit just fucking beat the shit out of Dallas. They're going to be riding that shit high. I know they lost Aiden Hutchinson. They lose like some key stuff. I think they are going to be making a trade for a pass rusher at some point here because of that, but I just think that Detroit offense is fucking crazy right now. Minnesota's is too. Give me Detroit.
That's terrible. 1 second, I gotta.
Bless
Sorry
you.
about that. That's the first sneeze on camera, dude. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. Give me the Eagles. The Giants, fun team. Not going to do anything against the Eagles.
You lose Andrew Thomas. Your defenses look good, but your offense has still been shady. And you lose your left tackle, and our pass rush is pretty decent. Give me the Eagles, of course.
Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze again. And you stare into the lights. Wait. Okay, I'm good. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the LA Rams. Give me the Rams.
Ain't no coddling it.
Yeah, he ain't it at all. The Carolina Panthers versus the Washington Redskins. Can I just tell you how excited I am for this Carolina Panthers versus Washington Redskins team? This is going to be a back and forth game. Here's the thing. Carolina's going to be down like a motherfucker. They're going to have to throw a bunch of passes to Deontay Johnson. And I think that they're going to run the piss out of, what's his face, Brian Robinson Jr. if he plays. So
I'm taking Washington. I have Jaden Daniels in your league, so
I'm taking Washington too.
I need Jaden Daniels to pop off.
He'll probably will. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. Another hard game, but I think the Chiefs just are going to do it. It's such a hard game. Niners need it more than the Chiefs do, but I feel like the Chiefs always find a way to win.
Week 7 is the week that there's no more undefeated teams. If it was in Chiefs Kingdom, I would take the Chiefs, but San Fran at home, you got to do it. I just got to do it. Got to do it. 49ers.
The New York Jets versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jets, Jets.
Give me the Steelers, dude. That defense is legit. I feel like it's going to destroy Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to have any time.
Devontae Adams is going to come in here. You're not going to know who to cover. I don't care who it is. Somebody on the Jets is going to fucking go off. Their defense has been good, and Pittsburgh offense has been ass. So I'm giving the Jets just the slight takeover here. Give me the
Slight
Jets.
edge. And then the Baltimore Ravens versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me Baltimore.
This one was a tough one. I like Baltimore, or I like the Bucs at home. Baker's looked good. Their receivers look good. Their defense has been playing good. But how do you stop Derrick Henry and Lamar? How do you stop that team? Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. Fuck out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh? Skinny's going crazy, but Skinny's like, I gotta catch up with Marcus and pick him, dude.
Or I just get further behind. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. The LA Chargers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Cards.
I took the Chargers. I think K1 struggled.
This will be a deciding week for us because we have quite a bit of games that.
Marvin Harrison Jr. might be out with concussion. Who knows? Because he's still questionable. Cardinals defense still isn't good. Give me the Chargers.
All right. And that is it, my friend.
Yeah, I think we had 4 different, but even with that 4 different, it doesn't. Even if I were to get all mine right, you'd still be 5 more than me. I mean, it'd still be close, and that doesn't include how many you get right.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So if I got all of them right, I'd be up to 69, and then if you missed those 4, you'd be at 74. So yeah, we'd be within 5. Sorry. Yeah. But
all right.
As long as we're both over 500, I'm happy.
That's all that matters.
And the
all
betting.
That matters.
And the betting. We gotta be above 500. That's all. That's what we gotta do. But all right. Thanks for joining us. Come next week. We got 2 weeks. We got the Halloween episode. I'm fucking ready. I'm so excited for the Halloween episode. Make sure to follow us on the X, Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, and all those other ones.
Anywhere you get your podcast needs.
Out for the other time. Nope. But cheers. Have a good night, day. Enjoy Thursday.
Subscribe.
Enjoy the Thursday night football game of trash.